Alright guys, TJHaLy here back again today with the second part of the CWL World League Championship, CoD Champs, whatever, predictions video. So yesterday I talked through groups A to D, you guys left some interesting thoughts in the comment section below, and today I'm going to finish off the job. Of course, group G, I think, is the one with OpTic Gaming in, so we'll have a look at that in a second, because of course they have not had the best Miami, they have not had the best World Championship last year, they haven't won an event all in the calendar year, at least they haven't won an event in 2019, they did of course win Vegas at the start of the year, so it'd be very interesting if they can possibly pull off a storyline where they win the first and last event, pretty much being the only team, as far as I'm aware, not to make a roster change, so I'm pretty sure they are the only one left in the Pro League that hasn't made a change so far this season. So let's hop into it. The Call of Duty World Championship will take place August 14th to the 18th. The first 2 days, the 14th and the 15th, are going to be like group play matches, probably not played not usually played with a crowd. Then August 16th, 18th is going to be in the Paulie, the Powley, whatever, pavilion in Los Angeles. As I said yesterday, not the best time zones for a lot of us around the world. It's going to be difficult for me to keep the coverage up, at least keep it very live and fresh in my mind, but we'll just have to see how we go in a couple weeks' time. So yeah, the time has come again. CoD Champs is right around the corner. Modern Warfare is going to be playable at the event if you guys are attending. And just to show once again, this is a quick picture of the event. And well, not the event. There's a basketball match going on right now, but how they're going to organize this is interesting. And well, I'm looking forward to seeing how they put it together, because it could be a big one. So these are all the teams that are competing right now. These are the overview of the pool. So we went through Pool A, B, C, and D yesterday. So I reckon that E United and the boys would make it. Gen.G and E6, but Team War could definitely be a close competitor to E6. Group C, I think that FaZe and Units will get through, and then Group D, Reciprocity, Envy. So I'm not predicting any upsets here as yet, but I do think there are some potential on the cards. Or I guess you can consider this Pool A an upset, the boys over Elevate, but I really think that's a close cut affair, and the boys have shown probably more promise than Elevate, at least in recent times. So just to briefly reiterate here, the overview of the event: 32 teams, group stage 14th, 15th, knockout stage 16th through 18th at the Powley Pavilion in Los Angeles, and here we have the prize pool, $800,000 to the winner, so actually a much bigger spread in terms of the difference between first and second, as at Miami, where the first team won, I think, $500,000, but the second team won like $300,000 or something like that, so only the small matter of $200,000 difference between first and second, whereas here we have the big deal of $540,000, which is, I wouldn't mind a bit of that. To continue here, Group E is the following: Luminosity, UYU, Singularity, and Vanity. So in the image that the Call of Duty World League Twitter put up, they had Vanity under a different name because I think they played under Excalibur, but they have now been acquired by this Vanity organization. So this team of Reaper, Delo, Awakening, Landon, and Willet, I guess somehow I'm meant to pronounce Landon right there. They honestly put on a bit of a show in the open bracket. They did come top 12 in the end, as you can see right here, but, they put on a bit of a clinic. And whether they will be able to upset some of the other teams in this pool, we'll have to see, because they did put on a show. Now look, Luminosity came top 6 at Miami. When Slacked and John were going off in the first couple of days, at least in the matches that they played very well in, Luminosity had no problems at all. Yes, this is just pool play predictions. In future, I may go on to do a video in how I feel like the bracket will play out, because look, I think we saw at Miami that Luminosity can be championship contenders. They have the talent to do it. But once again, I think it depends on what Slacked and John, what kind of Slacked and John we see at events. Because we kind of talked about, or at least some people talked about, that yes, when you have formal Bracken Skies, it should be no problem. But, especially with how the SMGs are so important nowadays, if Slacked and John are not playing particularly well, you're going to have a massive struggle, I think, with Luminosity still in beating the best teams in the game. So I think they will qualify out of this pool no problem. I think it's a pretty weak pool on the whole, apart from Luminosity. I think they've done very, very well. Then we have this UYU team, who I think will come second, but it's difficult to say for sure, because yes, they looked woeful in the Pro League, but when they went to the Pro League play-in at Miami, I'm pretty sure they took down Envy in a swift 3-0. So they're definitely looking better. I think this team will maybe continue to improve. They've definitely got some big names on their squad. I can see them putting on a decent showing. I don't think Singularity are quite good enough to overhaul them. It's possible. There's some names that have been going around the European scene for a couple of years now. But, at the end of the day, I'm not sure they're going to be competent enough to take down UYU, especially with them potentially improving and supposedly looking all right in practice as well. So I do think this is probably a clear 1-2 for the Pro League teams. Moving on to Group F, this is where things get very, very spicy, and in fact this may be one of my favourite pools that I'm keeping an eye out on in the entire tournament. So we've got 100 Thieves, of course. Yes, they came top 6 at Miami. A lot of people are expecting them to bounce back for champs. I am personally not so convinced because I know how much the game revolves around the SMG play right now, and I'm not sure that Priestahh and Enable as a duo can match up to what Gen.G and Reciprocity and United are putting out right now. We'll have to see how it goes towards champs, but you know, those are kind of my my thinkings on this team. Therefore, I don't expect them to bounce back to completely dominant form. They should comfortably take this pool, but there are definitely some good contenders here. Midnight are not a bad team by any means. They've got the likes of Frosty, you know, Parasite, of course, Llama God, players that have done pretty damn well this year, and Midnight have shown some good, you know, shades of brilliance, to be honest, at times. Zaptius last year at Champs was very, very good on Lethal Gaming. He was playing with Teddy Rector's team, and he was a real performance there. And I think Royalty and Zaptius on the SMGs can really give, you know, Priestahh and Enable, and really most SMG duos, a run for their money. They seem pretty damn inconsistent players, but if Royalty and Zaptius have a great series, we know what Frosty can do, we know what Parasite can do, we know what Llama God can do on their day. Midnight can be a very scary team. But I'm not sure it's going to be clean sailing for them in the second place, because Sicario are here as well. This is the team of Tommy, Proto, Exceed, I don't know why I put an E there, and Linny as well. So this team did relatively well at Miami. They came top 6 in the open bracket. They were predicted maybe to do slightly better than that. But yeah, I think this is a solid squad. Proto and Exceed on the SMGs is very, very scary. Chino's a very solid assault rifle. Tommy's been fantastic this year on the whole. And Linny has put on a clinic with the Maddox at times as well. So I genuinely think this team is very, very good, and they have a great chance of overhauling Midnight. I do think that 100 Thieves should walk away with first place, no problem at all. But as I said, Midnight is a very inconsistent squad. They have some fantastic potential. If they do make it out into the bracket, I don't think they have much chance of beating 100 Thieves, but you just never know. I think they did beat 100 Thieves, not this squad, but I'm pretty sure Midnight beat 100 Thieves a while ago, a couple of months ago in the Pro League, so these players are Parasite, you know, Llama God have done it and have taken down 100 Thieves. Maybe it's possible, but if they, you know, if these guys don't particularly show up, then I think Sicario or even Fury Gaming, as we'll get to in a second, have a good chance of overhauling Midnight. So this is a very spicy pool for me. I think we can see plenty of game 5s here, and well, I'm just looking forward to it. So moving on from Sicario, as I said, Fury Gaming, we have Teddy Rex. This is, I mean, I'm pretty damn sure Zaptius was playing with Teddy Rex on Lethal Gaming last year, and maybe a couple of these other players as well. Maybe Rambi Bambi was on that team as well. So this is the Fury Gaming squad. Definitely some recognizable names here. Yes, they came top 12 in the open bracket at Miami. Didn't have the best performance there, but still I think a solid squad on paper. I don't think these guys have much chance of making it out of the pool. I still think it's kind of a 3-horse race up here at the top, but they could upset one of these teams, I think, for sure. Maximum, I think they're really going to win one series, but if they do win a series, it probably will be in a Game 5 search and destroy like fashion, and if they do, it really could upset the balance of this pool and the tournament as a whole. So I'd say keep your eyes out for Group F. Moving onwards then, Group G, here we go. OpTic Gaming in this one, and I think they've done relatively well in their pool right here, because we've got OpTic Gaming, Scump, Crim, Karma, Dashy, TJ, joined by Evil Geniuses. So they've managed to avoid Aches and Envy and their, well, their nemesis from last year, but they retain Evil Geniuses in their pool, who of course are the world champion, the reigning world champions, but none of the players that won the world championship here, apart from Apathy, are still on this squad. Apathy and Jacob, of course, looking for their 3rd ring, which would be remarkable. If Apathy can go, if he can make the grand finals of a World Championships again, I will be mind-blowing, because Apathy made the, well, he won the World Championships in Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare was in the grand finals, World War 2 he won it again, so if he makes it again, that would be 4 back-to-back World Championship grand finals appearances from Apathy, and you know, we know how Jacob has done it, so I think this will be a very scary team come champs, to be honest. I think that they all have the experience, they all have it ready to go. Whether they quite have the pacing, I think they should do on paper. It's just that, you know, maybe they don't quite have the firepower to beat some of the best teams in the game. They should comfortably make it out this pool though. Train Hard Esports could put on a performance. These are the French guys that have been in the league earlier this year, joined by a Spanish guy in Yako and Kreza from England, I'm pretty sure. So yes, Train Hard could put on a show. Same with Carnage, possibly, but I don't have too much faith that these teams teams can overhaul the top 2. I think the Evil Geniuses have been playing much better as of late. They only lost very, very narrowly to 100 Thieves at Miami, and in theory OpTic Gaming should bounce back nicely. I can't see them getting upset by any of these bottom 2 teams, so I think G should be relatively clear-cut. Who will win out of these 2 is quite important though when you consider going into bracket play. I guess on paper I should favour OpTic Gaming, but it's quite difficult to say. But if OpTic do manage to make it into bracket play at the very least, better than they did last year, then they have at least a good chance of going the distance, because we know what this team is capable of on their day. The final pool then, Group H, we have the following: Splice, Heretics, Aspire and Hybrid. This may be the pool of death of the tournament, the very final one, because Splice, of course, if they're not attending a bootcamp, they may not be the freshest coming into this tournament, and wow, they have a pretty damn tough pool on their hands here, because yes, Splice on paper should be a great team. I predicted them come champs to be very, very good, competing for the championship, I thought, when this team first formed. Maybe that won't be the case, but they have a decent chance, of course, of getting out of this pool. They have to, or they go home. But the teams they're up against are difficult. That happens when you get down to these kind of lower echelons with teams that came top 8 and top 10. So, you know, up against teams that came in that kind of middle range of the open bracket, but are still very scary. So Aspire here, Fastballer, Robbie B, Turn Up, Tish and Super. They have done great things so far this year in the open bracket. Fastballer, of course, was in the league. Robbie Beeman, I've spelled that slightly wrong, was in the league as well, back on the, what's it called, Accelerate Gaming back in the day. So yeah, these guys have stuck together for a number of events now. Heretics are definitely a solid squad on their day. Little bit inconsistent for my liking if you're a Spanish fan, but they have been looking relatively good with methods on that assault rifle now, and just their cracked out SMGs and Maddox players going at it. Vortex has had his moments as well. Then we've got Hybrid with some other really big name players that have been in the league earlier this season. BZ, for example, stands out. Spoof should have had a chance to play with UIU because he got dropped for methods, different methods to this methods, but still, Panda as well, Godarect, partner for a long time last year on that Ghost Gaming squad. Some other names you should be aware of, so this is a very scary pool here. I think that Splice should make it out. I wouldn't say it's 100% guaranteed though. I think Splice should make it out. Then it's between Heretics and the others. Definitely some upset potential here. Even Splice I can see getting upset by one of these lower 2 teams, possibly Heretics have a good chance against them as well. Depends what Splice shows up to this tournament, but this is very, very interesting. I think I'm going to go boring on the whole and just say that Splice and Heretics will make it out. I think that Aspire and Hybrid will just fall short when it matters, but I can definitely see some game 5s here, and it should be an exciting pool to keep your eyes on. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you did, subscribe if you are new as always. Leave all your thoughts down in the comment section below. So my predictions for these pools overall: E United, The Boys, Gen.G, Enigma 6, FaZe Clan Unit, Reciprocity Envy, Luminosity UIU, 100 Thieves, Midnight. I think I'm going to go for, I'm not even sure I made that whole prediction, but I think Midnight would just take it. OpTic EG and Splice Heretics. So I'm not really going for any upsets. The only upset I think I'm going for is The Boys in 3rd, and I think Group H has a great chance, and so does Group F, but on the whole I'm going to give it like a 55-45. The Midnight do manage to make it, but leave your thoughts below. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new as always, and I will see you next time.